All right. So, hey, everybody. Glenn Haussman here, the No Vacancy Podcast, and I'm excited to be broadcasting live for the first time on LinkedIn. First, I'd like to say thanks to all the good folks over at LinkedIn for allowing us to broadcast live. I'm so excited to be doing this, and hopefully this will create a new way for all of us to interact. So, it's my first time doing this, so I expect there to be lots of trouble, lots of problems, but I also promise lots of great conversation as soon as we bring in our guest here today. All right. So, using this mechanism, I can't quite see what everybody's comments are going to be on this thing, but when I look over here, I got LinkedIn up. So it'd be really great if you guys put down your comments and we can follow them. And if you want, we can participate in the conversation and make sure that each and every one of you have a chance to talk to myself, have a chance to talk to Anthony when we bring him on the show, and more. So again, thank you for tuning in. Please share this with a friend. And I am really excited because not only do we do the No Vacancy Podcast with me, Glenn Haussman here, we also do Checking In with Anthony and Glenn, which I do with the one and only, the incredible Anthony Melchiorri. You might know him from television. I know him from alleyways in Brooklyn. How are you, my man?
What's up, brother?
How you doing? Great to see you today.
How are you? What does my daughter have written on that board behind me? Anything
What did that say?
No, I just want to make sure there's nothing written bad on that board. It's my daughter's.
Yeah. It says, "Ask Dad for more money."
No, that was happening this morning.
Excellent.
They're not shy of that.
Yeah, well, welcome aboard, Anthony. This is our first time doing LinkedIn Live. I'm
Where do
pretty
I look?
excited about this. You're looking, you're always looking pretty good. But, before we really get into our conversation today, I'm excited for you because you're starting your own live show. You've done one episode already on Facebook. You're doing another one today at 3 p.m. Maybe the best way to start this conversation is let's talk a little bit about how all this live stuff is changing the way that we do our jobs. For me, I think it's great. We do a lot of recordings live to tape, but you're doing stuff now on broadcast absolutely live. What's that like?
Well, first of all, my OCD's on overdrive because I'm looking behind me through the camera and realize I'm in my daughter's corner right now.
Right.
The instant turnaround came to me probably a couple of months ago. And I'm being pitched for different shows, and people are asking me to do different shows, and productions companies are asking me to do different shows. And when I came on TV 9 years ago, it's different now. Whereas you would go for, where am I looking? Am I looking here? Where am I looking?
Yeah. Look right in your camera. You don't have to. You're looking at me. Don't look at me. Look in your camera, and then it'll appear as if you're looking.
Right, like that.
Yeah. Right. See how I'm looking at you, but I'm not really looking at you, but I'm looking at you.
So what happened was. I can't. I'm going to look at you. So you have to do it.
The first time anyone has ever said, "I'm going to look at you," that makes me feel really good, Anthony.
So you go to a network, you have a show. Hopefully, they like you. 100,000 of 1%. Maybe you get a show. You get a show. I got a show. I got lucky. 108 shows later, three different TV shows. But now things have changed. Now you go to a TV station, a network with 1 billion followers. I have 100,000 followers on social media. So if I go, I'm kind of trying to sell them me. I'm not interested in selling them me after 10 years on television.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I want to take control. So I called my production company and I said, hey, I got an idea for instant turnaround. They said, what is it? I said, you go into any business, could be a hotel, could be a barbershop, could be a tire shop. Today we're doing something very close to my Brooklyn roots.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell you what we're doing, right?
I know. You didn't. I always like being in suspense. I know that you like to keep me on the edge of my seat of my pants so we can be
no one knows.
live, reacting in the moment.
And I don't know. I know the name of it. I know what it does, but I haven't seen a picture of it. I haven't Googled it. I haven't done any research. So what I do is I go into any show, I go into any business, and I think within an hour or two, I should be able to have a plan for what they're doing wrong and what they can do right. Some things will help them with right there, and some things is a longer-term project. Like we're going to talk about the update of the pizza place that we did in Sunnyside. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to give you an update at about 2:45 today, and 3 o'clock we're going to go live with the instant turnaround on our second episode. The reason there's a second episode is because there's been so much play on the first episode. People really like it. Getting a lot of, believe it or not, people are noticing me from instant turnaround. like, oh, you know me from Facebook? They're like, I mean, from Hotel Impossible. Like, what's possible? So it's really interesting. And if it goes well, I may or may not bring it to the network, or may just stay. I just may stay live on the internet, which is really where everything is going now. Anyway. So that's what we're going to be doing, and you don't even know the name of the show. I'm going to open my window because with this big, heavy sweater, I'm sweating.
Anthony actually got that when he was doing a show for the Travel Channel for the Arctic, and it's supposed to keep him warm in sub-zero temperatures, and it's a little bit warm over there for him. So I love this. I'm having a lot of fun, and I should say we've got 22 people watching right now, which I believe is actually more than people that saw the entire Terminator Dark Fate movie. So I'm pretty excited about being a James Cameron produced film.
Well, these lives are really about the people that tune into them later. So
yes, right.
So that's instant turnaround, and everything today. When people say I want a TV show, it's like, no, you don't. Just we have the ability to broadcast live right now. We didn't have that ability 10 years ago. I didn't have the ability to do instant turnaround. I had to go into the network, which was a great opportunity for me. But everyone, and everybody from Joe Rogan on down, has proven that you can take control, including Glenn Haussman. Yep. You can take control. So when people say to me, "How do I get a show?" I'm like, "Turn on your microphone, turn on your camera, and you better be entertaining."
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I definitely got the camera and the microphone. I'm working on the entertaining part, but you're absolutely right, Anthony. Things have changed so much. I couldn't have imagined just 5 years ago that I would be able to create a whole career path based on podcasting, videos, and now this live element, which I think is incredibly exciting for us to be able to do something that's new, something that's different, and I think something that's going to be able to bring us closer to an audience.
I still can't figure out where the camera is. Okay, so I'm just going to give up. So, what question you have for me there, brother?
What's that? What question? All right, so A.D. Chong, first of all, says Anthony's your hero, is his hero from Brooklyn, and go Yankees. Not much of a comment, but one thing that me and Rory wants to know is all about revenue management. What are the major topics one should learn when just getting started as a general manager? I think that's a great point, because up until recently, we didn't even really think about revenue management as a full-time discipline. Now it is. And hotel general managers are supposed to understand this more than ever before. So how do you see revenue management?
It's really, I would say, a 20-year in the making process. Mm-hmm. It got on everybody's radar 20 years ago. Right. 10 years ago became everything, and now it is the business. Revenue management is the business, because everything's becoming more expensive, and real estate's more expensive, payroll's more expensive, and you can only do a certain amount with rates depending on the economy. Right. So depending on how good you are at rate control, depending on how well your hotel does, it still comes down to how you buy a hotel. You can buy a hotel, too expensive, and you just don't have the right financing behind you. Right. And all of a sudden becomes the employees' problems, because now they're trying to get high rates where high rates don't exist. My favorite comment is when somebody builds a hotel and they have a little bit bigger room, they're like, "We're going to get a bigger rate." I'm like, "No, you're not." Okay, you're in New York City. If you have a 500 square foot room, or you have a 250 square foot room, you're getting the same rate depending on the day. Yeah. Period, end of story. No one's giving you more money because the room's a little bit bigger. Right. So let me just break it down 1 second so people could really understand. So what you're saying is, if you build a room in New York City for $500,000 a room, or if you build a room in New York City for $250,000 a room, the money that you need to make in order to pay that mortgage, pay your employees, is going to be a lot higher for the $500,000 room, but you can't charge more for the customer. Yeah, if you build a hotel in New York City for $250,000 a room in today's economy, right? That's the answer. And so back to general manager, revenue manager. Mm-hmm. If you're a general manager that comes in, worries about housekeeping, worries about food and beverage, runs around your hotel, does an inspection like I do, and engages with your team and does your stand-up, and then by 5 o'clock you say goodbye and you leave, and you haven't touched revenue management, I'd probably fire you about 4:30. You should be touching revenue management probably the first second you're in the building. And then right after you do your early morning meetings, you should get back to revenue management. You should look at it. And by the end of the day, you should look at it again. So 3 times a day, you should be looking at it as a general manager. A revenue manager, again, depending on where you are, depending on what market you are, a revenue manager should be looking at it every day. If you're in a big city, an A market like LA, Chicago, New York City, and you're not looking at revenue management and you don't have a revenue manager and look at it every single day, goodbye and have a nice day.
Right. We've got, yep, go on.
And what's critical to kind of your point, Glenn, what's critical about revenue management is that you have 2 personalities.
Right.
Okay. When somebody comes in that has one personality, meaning, well, these are my rates and I'll flex a little bit, but these are my rates. You have to be really flexible. Like right now, Christmas week, we call this Christmas week in New York City. This is when everybody comes in from all over the world to go shopping.
Right.
Okay. You may, if you go on hotels.com right now or Expedia or the hotel's websites, you may see rates of $600-700 for a Holiday Inn Express in Times Square. Okay, January 15th, that same hotel may be $199 a night.
Right.
So you as a general manager have to just, like anything else, I think a good manager or a good leader or a good parent listens and then makes a decision based on the information. I've never made information on a rate. I've never made a decision on the rate in my life. The information makes the decision. Period. Story. I'm not stuck. I don't have pride when it comes to my rates. You know, I want to be able to not lay people off. That's always been my goal when I run a hotel, is I don't want to lay anyone off.
Right. That's fascinating. So when you have an owner that is demanding a certain rate and you know that you cannot deliver that particular rate, how do you handle that situation so you could come out looking like a strong professional and get that owner and operator to really understand that you're correct in this particular situation?
Okay, I'm going to help you with that, Glenn.
Excellent. And what does that say? I can't read it on my screen. Oh, I quit. I'm sure all the general managers and revenue managers out there would really like that.
What you have to do is facts, right? You have to just. I'm a big numbers guy, so numbers don't lie. The number one priority is you got to show them you're doing better than your competition. If you're doing better than your competition, okay, then you can start talking about facts. But first, you have to do better than your competition. If you're doing worse than your competition and your STAR report, which basically is the report card for the industry and shows rates and occupancies against your comp set, if you're doing poorly, if you're a 92 index when your competition is 100 and above, you're failing. So your owner is probably going to ask you questions you don't have answers to. I don't allow myself to have to not know answers to questions that owners are going to ask me. Almost never, outside of Robert Snyder or Tishman, no one's ever been able to ask me a question I didn't know the answer to. Robert was incredibly bright, or is incredibly bright when it comes to revenue management, and he taught me a lot. And so Jeremy Pinkerton as well, and Pia and other revenue managers have taught me. But very rarely do a typical owner can question me and I don't know the answer. Right. So if you know if you're understanding revenue management and you're competing against your competition, you're winning against your competition, and the owner's not listening to you, just keep drilling down facts, keep drilling down numbers, show them what you're doing, show them your marketing, show them your PR, show them your revenue management strategies. If they're still saying you got to do better and better, they're not being logical, and then you have to make a decision.
Right. Yeah. Well, that all sounds like it makes a whole lot of sense to me. So, Anthony, one of the things that we do is not only are you a guest here on this No Vacancy broadcast today, but we do a show twice every single week, checking in with Anthony and Glenn, where we share great information like this. So I encourage everybody to join, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, subscribe to it on Google Play, wherever you get your shows, all the good places, even the bad places as well out there. And we will help you, empower you, and make sure that you are in the right place on your career journey.
I made a decision, Glenn. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing anything live in my basement anymore.
No?
In my playroom, because everything looks bright and light and beautiful, and I'm like dark. I don't like dark. I don't like the background. And what's so funny is it looks light in here, so I don't know why it's so dark.
Really well. I'm in the middle of putting together this home studio over here, and I'll move this camera. The reason why it's so light is this camera has light, but there's one there. And there's one there.
Not fair.
There's my green screen.
Not fair,
so I know. So we're doing a whole lot of fun things over here. Now you can see my fan.
Okay, but that's not fair because I'm sitting here going, I have 4, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
I have 11 lights on right now. And I have 4 windows. And it is dark as could be on camera. And you look like you're in a Hollywood studio.
All right. Well, I'm feeling very Hollywood today, but more importantly, I'm loving that people are asking us questions out there in the audience. Andre Kelly asked, and he's Director of Sales and Marketing, what is the best way to network for task force hotel management opportunities in Southeast Asia? I don't know. Go there, go to some cocktail hours. I'm sorry, Andre. I have no idea about Southeast Asia. You have a lot of experience over in Southeast Asia. Maybe we can get Bruce Ford of Logic Kind of Metrics to answer that particular question because that.
Yeah, my friend Bruce. I owe Bruce a call. I got to talk to him. I don't even understand the question, so I couldn't even answer because I don't understand the question. But I'm sure I know the answer to it.
Sorry, Andre. We're big fat failures on.
No, ask the question again. Let me see if I can give some.
All right. This is now, Andre. Listen to this. This is how true professionals do it. Even if they don't know the answer, you're still going to get one. So we asked Anthony Melchiorri, what is the best way for network for task force hotel management opportunities in Southeast Asia?
It's really cold here in New York City.
Right. I think that's a great answer. Absolutely. Go to Southeast Asia. But honestly, there's a lot of great hotel job boards out there that I think you could find access to those particular types of jobs. Also, make friends with folks on LinkedIn.
I don't really understand those jobs. I don't understand the question.
I think the person wants to get a job in Southeast Asia.
LinkedIn, everybody that's a general manager or director of sales in that area,
right?
Send them real personal text messaging, emails, and network. A good old networking, man.
Right. Yeah. Just try to connect with people, forge those relationships. Don't send them a note right away saying, hey, hire me, because that's just going to turn people off. They have to get to know you. They have to have some level of trust. You have to just be there, be present, and be your absolute self.
Get on a plane.
Yep.
Go knock on doors, spend the money, go knock on doors, send your resume. When people say, what are you doing here? Say, I just came for a job. If you told me you came from America for a job and you paid your own way and you're literally dropping a resume off my desk, I'm not letting you go home.
Yeah, for sure. So over here at the No Vacancy Network, not only do we do these 2 podcasts, we do a bunch of other series as well. And I'd love for you guys to sign up for our newsletter. You can get that every single week. Just text the word hotel to 66866, and you'll get access to every single thing that we do.
Look at this. You have your logo in the corner.
I know, man.
That's hotel. You're live, like you're like a rock star, bro.
I know. I actually feel like I'm a big time director over here, like doing the Super Bowl or something like that. But anytime I get to talk to you,
I can tell you're trying to drive the car and fix the car at the same time.
I really am. And as a New York Jew, I don't know how to do anything in terms of fixing stuff. I just got to hire a guy.
You know how to make a good bagel.
Yeah, well, we do got that going for us. All right, so I do want to ask you a question from Carl Hill. Carl Hill asks, how best does a hotel operator retain employees? But I'd like to take that a step further because we talked a lot about employee retention. How do you do it in the context of the holiday season? How do you make sure that all your employees are feeling loved, cherished, can have time to be with their families, and create that sense of we're all in this together at the property, so you will retain them through the holiday season and into 2020?
Couple, 3 things. One, it's not holiday. It's not today. It's always.
Right.
The second you hire them, there's companies when you get to your desk, your first day, they have a care package for you, right?
Right.
If that care package goes away, that means you don't really care. And what I mean by that care package going away was if they don't feel like they have a care package every day, and not a physical care package, but that they're not welcomed and they're not cared for every day, then you can't retain employees. But even if you take care of them, you pay them well, you give them bonuses, you give them time off, you give them a good boss, you give them a great place to work, even then people are going to move on. And when they move on, you're going to be excited for them, and you're going to help them move on, and you're going to be excited and promote them to the next level somewhere else. That's fine. Don't be upset. Don't be concerned. I always get excited when people go on to better opportunities. If somebody's taking an opportunity that's less paying and it's not a great opportunity for them, they just want to get out of your hotel or your business, that's a problem for you. Some people make lifestyle changes. They're following a spouse. They decide they don't want to work 7 days a week or 5 days a week. They want to work 2 days a week. They want more flexibility. So just be an open human being. Number two, and also during the holidays is this the hospitality industry. Okay, you work during the holidays a lot. Okay, when you're a general manager, I was general manager that ran hotels efficiently after the first 6 months. So I didn't work holidays. I rarely ever remember working a Christmas or or a New Year's. I worked. That's not true. I worked a lot of New Year's, but Christmases and Easter's I didn't work. I want to be home with my family, but I had an operation I ran well. When I was a front desk agent and I was a mid-level manager, of course I worked all the holidays. But for many, many years I didn't. So it really depends on your position. And also, what I would tell supervisors and managers is bring the holidays to your employees. Make them feel, whether it be making sure they get a really good meal, a holiday meal, making sure they get presents, having a little Christmas party, allowing them a little extra time maybe to talk to their family during the time. And don't let them stay any longer than they need to. During the holidays, have them have flex time where if they clean all their rooms, let them go home. Why make busy work for them? Also, you know which one of my secrets during the holidays? What is that?
I got to know.
To reduce the stress for employees, make sure you have enough rollaways and cribs.
Right.
That was always a problem. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
No, we've never talked about that before.
Rollaways and cribs. 3 weeks out, I'm like, how many rollaways we have? How many cribs do you have? Like, we don't know. I was like, can you go find them? Because they're all over the hotel. They're in storage closets. Nobody knows where they are. We get a count on them. It's like, okay, we have 20 and 20. Okay, go through the reservation, see how many people request cribs and rollaways. Well, we need 40 and 40. Well, if you don't have 20 and 20, you're going to piss off a lot of guests. Go rent them. Go borrow them. Go steal them. Go do something. And have enough rollaways and cribs. Now, that seems to be like, really? Is that a big deal? It's not a big deal unless you're the manager on duty and you have a family of 5 and then you roll away in the crib and you don't have one, then it's a big deal. And I've been in that pain.
Yeah, and it's also probably a good idea to have an extra around just in case you need to put your drunk uncle somewhere contained, right?
Or a drunk Glenn, right?
All right, yeah, well, I get a little.
But it's interesting, those little things.
Yeah.
Seem like just little things, but there are the big things. If you're bringing your newborn baby, like I have a friend that's traveling right now, first time ever with her newborn baby. Right? If she's traveling during the holidays and there's no crib, right, or there's no rollaway, that's a problem. Right. And it's a serious problem. It's a changing my holiday vibe kind of problem.
Right.
So, and so our job during the holidays is to prepare.
We used to bring pack and play everywhere we went with us, but that's not always practical for people. And
pack and play should be pack and I can't put it together.
Right. That's pretty funny. All right, so changing topics just a little bit, Anthony. We got another question here, which I think is really terrific, from Frederick Schoner, a hospitality consultant. He says the hotel industry is evolving and feels that hotel brands aren't as relevant as they once were, mostly because technology has given hotels a level playing field. Do we feel that there will be a turning point where brands will lose their grip and independence will become more popular? I definitely have thoughts on this one, but Anthony, how do you see it?
I would like to know your thoughts. I don't, and this is my opinion, you probably differ. I think, Glenn, I think brands are doing a really good job of becoming more entrenched, and the points really matter to a lot of travelers. When you saw Starwood and Marriott merge, and Marriott bought Starwood, and they have 32 brands, and you see all the other brands buying little brands. And then you even see the independent hotels trying to look like brands now.
Right.
So of course you're always going to have your independent people. Like if you break it down to hoteliers, right? You have your hoteliers that are brand people, and then you have people like me who have always been independent people and always stayed out of the brands, not for any other reason other than if it's more my personality. Right. So if you're an independent traveler, meaning you want independent brands, you'll find those. But more and more and more, the big cities and the B cities, there's so many brands that it's almost impossible to find the independent hotels, especially online, amongst all the clutter. So I don't see that independent properties are ever going to make inroads into hotels because what happens if they do, they autograph them. Right. If you look at the Venetian, the Venetian's an IHG property. Okay. So if you look at the Algonquin, it's an autograph property from Marriott. So the independents eventually go to the brands one way or another, either externally with signage on front or internally with systems.
That's right. Because
Am I right, Craig? Did I answer the question right?
You answered the question absolutely correct. You gained valuable points for that one. I do believe that brands are a necessary part of our universe. They really help a big chunk of customers out there. While there may be some more sophisticated customers, and by sophisticated I mean those that are looking for a different experience every time they travel, for most people, and in particular a big chunk of business travelers, they want the safety, security, and comfort of something that name on the door means. Plus, about 10 years ago, when all the soft brands were coming into the business for the first time, led the way by Ascend from Choice Hotels, which was the first one in on the business, to really give it owners and operators that kind of middle ground in order to be able to forge an identity for themselves while simultaneously having that backbone that will deliver reservations to their door to help their businesses. So I think it's an interesting time right now. I think customers love the idea of brands, but what the whole notion of the brands that we relate to might be changing. Some people love the big mass market brands. Some people love the single brands like a Venetian or Palazzo. Some love that brands that seem like they're larger brands, but don't have that many hotels.
If you go to Vegas, you have the Nomad, you have MGM, you have New York.
Right.
You have so many different things to choose from. If you want something a little bit more independent, boutique, you have the Nomad. In New York City, you have everything. You have the Moxie, the Plaza, the Pierre, the Holiday Express, Holiday Inn. You have everything. So, you have lots of choices. I like choices. And
right.
And the thing what brands do, whether the name's on the door or not, is they bring systems.
Right.
And systems are important. And the one thing that I cannot stress enough is try to book directly with the hotel.
Right.
The third parties make it more complicated if you need to cancel, especially during the holidays. So book for the hotel, get to know the front desk person, get to know the manager before you book. Go on Facebook, go on their social media, let them know you're coming. Social media would tell you a lot about how engaged that hotel is.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And you need to be engaged with your customers, in particular if you're an independent hotel. And the kind of way that I see this whole issue coming down with brands and non-branded hotels is think about the restaurants that you like to visit. You like the security sometimes of that name brand restaurant that's around the country because it gives you confidence. But you also love to go to restaurants that might be more chef driven or have a particular ethnic cuisine that aren't associated with a big company. So there is room for both those types of players. Our society has gotten big enough now, I believe, that people are traveling all the time and want different experiences. Sometimes they want the branded experience. Sometimes they want that independent experience. But every single time, we'd love to have that big old smile from Anthony Melchiorri.
now my head's as big as yours.
Yeah.
I was like, why is his head bigger than mine?
I think a couple of friends will say, no, Anthony, no one's head is as big as
look how tired I look. I've been traveling, and I was away all weekend, and I got up early to go to the gym, and look how tired I look, and you look how fresh and beautiful you look. I have a question for you, my friend.
Yes.
Glenn Haussman, the man, the myth, the legend. What's happening at 3 o'clock today?
Oh, what's happening at 3 o'clock is, I'm glad that you brought that up, is our good friend over here, Anthony Melchiorri, is going live on his page on Facebook. And he's going to instantly help a company be more successful. He already did one episode where he helped a pizza place out in Astoria, Queens. And now we're going on to the second one. What I love about that is it's really unvarnished, and it's very different than what you were doing with Hotel Impossible, where you would shoot for days and days and days at a time and take 20, 30, 40, 50 hours worth of stuff and put it into those nice 43, 44-minute shows. Now it's 1 hour of you on your toes. Who knows what's going to happen?
Listen,
what could go wrong?
I may fail, and if I fail, I'm going to let you know, hey, this didn't work out. Listen, we're going to try to put a show together that makes sense.
Right.
The one thing that I've done all my life is I've been a little bit of a renegade. I've always done things my way. This is another thing where it's kind of the frontier of television, where you're going live on the internet, turning around a business. No one's ever done it before. It scares the crap out of me. People say, but Anthony, you're a TV guy. It's tarnishing your image to be live on Facebook, to do a show. I'm like, first of all, what? What does that mean? It's tarnishing my image.
Right.
I'm turning around a business live. What's more like intense and more like saying I'm good enough to be able to do that?
Right.
It's scary So how's that? Well, because I'm not on TV and it's completely, again, our show was never overly produced, but you did, like, if I screwed up, we then edited it out, which we kind of shot almost live anyway. But so I feel like it's giving me much more control. And I tell you, it's like doing podcasts. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Like at 3:00, like I have to be in the city by 2:00, meet my producer. We're gonna go live to talk about the first place we did. And Philomena's in Sunnyside, the pizza place, and we're going to give you an update on that. And like I have an hour, and then I can get home for dinner. I don't have to be in a hotel room. And I also think, listen, Glenn, if I told you to go into a business, okay, a business or even go into a podcast studio or look at somebody's podcast, in literally 3 seconds, you can tell me what they're doing wrong. You can't fix everything. This is not about fixing everything in an hour. That is not the premise of the show. The premise is I can identify things that people can help themselves. I will give them some resources. With Philomena is the first place we did. We give them a publicist. We had a PR release. Yeah. And there's a couple other things that happened just through the show that helped them. It had nothing to do with. I actually brought owners in to look to maybe help them finance. And we'll give you an update on that.
Right. I love it. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And you're doing real things to help real people. And speaking of helping real people, Jeremy Klusterman has a great idea here in regards to the employee retention topic we were talking about. And he says, Jeremy says, it used to work for a brand that would give employees 50% employee rate during Christmas time. Loved it. Gives the employees the opportunity to take their family out for some special times. I could even have brought my family to my property. So I love that. It's a little bit of giving back to the people that are helping you be successful.
What did they give? What did
50% discount on hotel rooms, I guess, within the brand family or something like that.
Yeah, and things like that are so important. Things like that are critical. Being a general manager for so long, and general managers kind of take care of each other, help each other. So we just help each other. But the employees don't have the same they don't have the same influence when they call up a friend and say, hey, can you give me a discount? So absolutely. And also give bonuses, man. I don't care how much you can afford, but give a little bit of bonus. I mean, I remember we used to give out turkeys at the plaza. It wasn't a lot, but we did something. It's like always just stop a second, and give your team a bonus if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, let them know you can't afford it and try to give them something, whether it be a holiday party or something. I remember going back to doing a show I did about 4 years ago where a young lady hocked her ring. I don't remember this, to buy her housekeeping team holiday dinner.
I don't remember that.
Wedding ring. She hocked a wedding ring.
What?
Yeah. And I literally turned to my producer on camera. My producer looked at me like, she went like this. And that meant when I did, I won't get emotional talking about it. When she went like this, that meant like, go get that ring back.
Right.
And she did. Totally. You know what? And you know what she hocked the ring for? Like $40.
Oh.
Okay. And so with $40, she bought her team a holiday dinner. The effing owner was too effing cheap to buy an effing holiday dinner for his staff.
Well, that's effed up.
Yeah, that's freaking effed up.
That's for sure. So it's pretty amazing that you're out there. You're trying to make a difference in people's lives all the time. So now that you're doing this new live show, which again is going to be on Facebook at 3 p.m. with Anthony coming from New York City, how do you deal with some of the people that are not fully receptive to what you're saying? I think a lot of us in society, we put up too many defense mechanisms, and it takes a little time to get people to go through that before sometimes they get to yes. So what's your methodology for breaking through that barrier?
I'm a drill bit. I'm a drill bit. I'm a drill bit that does not break.
Right.
Like, I'm going to drill down until you listen to me, or I'm just going to simply say you're not listening. I'm going to shut my drill off, and I'm going to take my drill home. So I'm not a person that's going to get a sledgehammer and start beating people up and saying, you got to listen to me and ripping up your place. It's like, I'm here to give you knowledge. I'm here to help you. A lot of times I don't know the answer, but we're going to work together to get you the answer. And I'm going to get creative. I am a creative guy, so we're going to get creative. I have no idea what I'm going to do at 3 o'clock. I know the name of the place. I know what they sell. That is it. And I'm petrified. And one of the reasons I love this show, and one of the reasons, it's like thinking about today.
Right.
I'll tell you what my thought process, right? make sure everybody's back at school. My 2 kids are at college. Got them to college yesterday. My daughter this morning got a lift for her. She's a senior in high school. I said, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to have a nice quiet breakfast in my car, listening to my favorite podcast. We know which that one is. And
it would be No Vacancy with Glenn.
Absolutely. Glad you took that bait. I am then going to come and do live with my friend Glenn. Right. My mic up at 3:00 today. I'm going to think about what I'm wearing, which I've already done. I'm going to get in my car in about an hour after we're done.
Yep.
I'm going to drive, sit somewhere in Manhattan, clear my mind, get out of my car, meet my producer, and do my job. And just very simple. I'm not going to look at my emails today. I'm not going to do a lot of social media outside of letting people know what I'm doing at 3:00. But I'm going to clear my mind. So at 3:00, when my mind, they say action, I am 100% there for for the owner of that company, because that business is in serious trouble, as I understand it. So I think a lot of people, when they're doing things that are very stressful, they add other stresses into their life. So when they get to that point, when they're doing something, they're just overwhelmed. So these days are very stressful for me. So I have to really get myself calm and get myself really focused, because I'm petrified.
And this sounds a lot like a topic we just put up on a podcast this last week. So check the feed for Checking In with Anthony and Glenn, where we talk about finding your zone. Other people call it finding the flow, how to get into that right state of mind in order to be a real player for what you need to get done. I'd love to encourage you guys to ask us some more questions out there online as we continue this first live ever broadcast.
Can I do an advertisement for a friend of mine?
Heck yeah, go for it.
Roxbury Contemporary Resort in Roxbury, New York. Look it up. They just built a new hotel called Stratton Falls at Roxbury.
Right.
It's in Roxbury, New York, about 3 hours from New York City. I just spent 2 wonderful, beautiful days at their waterfall, at their resort. They have a swimming pool outdoors, so you have to wait for the summer. They have a spa. They have 8 different units, and each one is its own building. They have a Wonder Woman unit. They have a Dracula unit, and it's not like a thematic unit that is not highly designed. It's not like something slapped together. It is incredibly designed. It was one of the most comfortable places I've ever stayed in my life. Joe and Gregory, the owners, they're amazing. So if you want to go skiing, you want to see the Catskills, go to the Roxbury Hotel, tell them Anthony sent you. You won't get anything for free, but they'll know to take extra care of you.
Right. And if you call and tell them Glenn sent you, they'll tell you they're sold out. So be sure to ask for to mention.
Go on my Instagram. Well, actually, now it's all gone because I did a lot of live. But go on their website. Is absolutely one of my favorite places in the world to go. If not my favorite place in the world to go. And it's in Roxbury, New York, where most people are like, where the hell's Roxbury? If you love the Catskills, find Roxbury. It's 3 hours from New York City. It's worth the drive. And Gregory and Joe are the best people in the hospitality business. They are true hospitality experts. Even they didn't come to the business from hospitality. They came from theater and building sets and accounting.
All right, so let's turn this from a shameless plug for them into something practical. What makes the place so great? What are they doing that hoteliers can learn from?
Okay, see, like I'm a little stressed out because I'm sitting here and like my background isn't perfect. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing. Like I like your background outside of your fan. It's like I'm not looking at anything else. I'm looking at you. Right, I'm looking at you. So I'm a detail guy, right?
Right.
And there's no detail that's not there. Everything is there. Everything is there. Mm-hmm. So what they do better than anyone is detail. And their waterfall, when you go down there, there's opportunities to do great Instagram, great social media. They actually have spaces for you to basically take great shots. They actually have fenced in areas. It's just phenomenal. Everything is thought about. Their staff is great. It's cleaner than you could ever imagine. Cleaner than I can make a place. It's insane.
Right. All right. So what I
and they have Disney Plus, which my kids love. They have Disney Plus, Netflix. They have every single channel you can ever want. fantastic.
Go Baby Yoda. Got to watch Disney Plus and the Mandalorian. But the one thing that you said that really stuck out to me is details, attention to details. And this is one of the things that I say a lot in our podcast. It's one of the things that I say a lot when I'm up on stage talking to groups large and small, is that everybody does their job so great in hospitality that it's really fundamentally about those small little details these days. That last 1-2%, that's what's really going to take you over the edge. That's what's really going to make you connect with guests. That's what's going to make you immune from having to fight on price alone. How do you make sure that you are focused on all those details, Anthony, when you're running a hotel, and get your team to be as hyper focused on the little things that we may not normally see?
I don't like fixing problems. I don't like stress, as we talked about. I don't like people yelling at me. So I do a lot of preparation, a lot. It's like when you look at our military, one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life is when our Navy SEALs went in to a foreign country in the middle of the night on a Sunday,
right,
and took out Osama bin Laden, and 24 hours later they were eating Wendy's in Iowa.
Right.
They trained their entire lives to go in,
right,
take them out, and go home. So that day, I would imagine if you put a heart monitor on them, their heart wasn't pumping any faster than it normally would have pumped during their training exercises. They weren't out of their minds. They weren't out of control.
Right,
they were in control. Matter of fact, I bet you their heart rate wasn't out of control at the least. You would have thought they were just walking into any business and doing their job.
Right.
So I think running a hotel is not obviously comparing to a Navy SEAL, but preparation is everything. Navy SEALs in our military are the best in the world because they are prepared the best in the world. So if you're going to run a great hotel, you're not running that great hotel on Christmas Day when it's packed. You're running that hotel when it's empty and your team is listening to you and you're getting policies and procedures and cribs and rollaways and extra water and extra linen and extra staff and everything you need. So Christmas Day, you're having as much fun as everybody else in the hotel.
Right.
If you're not having fun, people can feel it. You have to have fun. And on those busiest days are the days I'm the happiest because I'm having fun. I'm not worried about anything because everything's thought about. And you know what? And if something I didn't think about, it gives me an opportunity to recover. And we've talked about recovery, and people talk about my recovery more than they'll talk about the problem. So you have to go in 100% prepared. Again, you're a heavyweight boxer, an MMA fighter, or anyone. You don't go into a heavyweight championship unless you put in 100 hours in the gym.
Right. Right.
Same thing in a hotel. If you're trying to get ready that morning, you're done.
Yeah. All right. So it sounds like what you're really talking about is more of like that Six Sigma approach, not looking at the symptoms, but looking at what the actual issues are and going back to try to prevent issues from ever happening and being hyper-focused on that.
Make sure you're not overly Six Sigma. Make sure you don't have people doing Six Sigma that never ran a hotel before, because I've been in that situation.
Right, yeah.
Analysis paralysis. So know where your problems are, know where your weak points are. Six Sigma is a great process, but also common sense helps you.
Yep, I want to thank Brian Dass for putting up the link for the RoxburyExperience.com so people can go and check that out right away. So thanks for Brian for doing that. And our good friend AJ Singh over at Heart of America.
But you have a producer doing this too?
I'm doing it all myself, dude. And AJ says that they just opened 2 Tapestries by Hilton, and it's a great synergy between their creative influences and Hilton brand value. Now, Heart of America is really cool because they've has their own branded hotels. They have regular branded hotels and soft branded hotels as well. So that's an example of a company that's doing a little bit of everything. And my guess is, AJ, and you could respond here in the comments, is that you're finding different hotels and different brands, or your own brand, like a Hotel Renovo that you guys do, work better under specific situations in some markets other than others, et cetera, et cetera. So,
but also don't forget the personalization. The brand is a brand, and you're going to go to where you're comfortable, but people aren't as trained as they should be. And you have to personalize the experience. So I don't care.
Right.
Yes, the brand will make you feel comfortable, but that person has really got to be a real human and really interact with you. Right. And we were talking about before, technology is taking a lot of touch points out. of our business. So we have to make sure those touch points that we do have, whether it be the front desk or whether it be housekeeping, the few times I am able to talk to an employee, that they're engaged, they're looking me in the eye, they're saying good morning, and they have information. They know what time breakfast opens. They know what time the gym opens. They know when the general manager comes in.
Right.
They understand what's happening in the hotel. I cannot stand it when I talk to a young lady in breakfast or a young man in breakfast and say, what time's the spa open till? And they're like, well, I'm not sure.
Right.
What? I mean, you're not sure.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. They should be saying the spa is open until 10 p.m. And right now we've got this great special where you can get such and such set. Would you like me to get you more information? Can I make an appointment for you? Help your team help you make more money by making sure they're properly trained and have all the information that they're going to need to be able to excel in their job.
I'm glad I'm wearing this heavy sweater because it's freezing in my house now.
I want you to know, I want everybody to know right now that I specifically decided to wear a sweater over a t-shirt today because I could not handle Anthony yelling at me today about not having my collar stays, which are still in the mail, and I haven't yet received them. So I wanted to save myself a little bit of flack. So I don't know if you're gonna, if you think I need collar stays for a sweater.
So I downloaded a video that says, "What's in Anthony Melchiorri's travel bag?" Because people ask me that.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that surprised you outside of the collar stays? That was in my.
Well, that didn't surprise me at all because you've been razzing me about it.
How about my cuticle oil?
I don't know. I feel like you got everything. It's absolutely unbelievable.
My tourniquet. I have a tourniquet.
Well, which is really just strange to me because, you know, you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you lose a limb and need to have a tourniquet.
Honestly, I'll tell you why I have a tourniquet. I did when I was doing Extreme Hotels. We were traveling all over the world.
Okay.
And I'm on blood pressure medicine.
Okay.
So if I start to bleed, you know, I can bleed quick. So I have a tourniquet so I can hopefully throw it to one of my, you know, anybody around me, you know, not that I'm shooting that show anymore, but
I like that.
I just have it just in case.
Right. Our good friend of the show, Christine Trippi, just put up a video on what she puts in her travel bag. Oh, you gotta check that out, everybody. Check out Christine Trippi here on.
Yeah, she posted one. She copied me. She posted one too.
Oh, I may have one. I may be planning to do one as well, but we'll see.
I don't want to know what's in your travel bag.
I don't think anybody wants to know that. I don't think we'll. I think we'll lose all of our viewers if I do that particular thing. But check out Christine Trippi. She's got a great new book out right now. She just happens to be a guest on this week's No Vacancy with Glenn Haussman, and you can of course download that wherever you get your podcasts. Anthony. We've been on here for a while. I know that you need to start thinking about moving on to your 3 p.m. live show on Facebook today. I'm feeling like maybe we should start to wrap this thing up today. Anything else? Any other messages that you want to get out there at the conclusion of this first ever LinkedIn live broadcast?
I would say this. People look at your content because they want to know information about the hotel business. People follow me because they want to know information about the hotel business and also what's going on with my show. And people ask me all the time, when's Hotel Impossible coming back? It's on every Sunday. It's on for 12 hours. There's plenty of Hotel Impossible out there. There are repeats. I apologize. Hotel Impossible is not coming back to Travel Channel. I can tell you that. If we do a different version on a different network, that may happen.
Yep.
But Travel Channel has moved on. They're doing ghost shows, which is great. But we're doing instant turnaround, which I'm going into different businesses and turning it around. We may bring Hotel Impossible back on a different network. So people ask me every single day, 37 times a day on the streets I was going to say in the barbershop, but I don't go to barbershops. Everywhere I go, and that's the answer.
Right.
I am really excited about what we're doing now, whether it be my podcast, my speaking engagements, hospitalitysuccess.com, which is my new company, my revenue management consulting business, and instant turnaround. So we're busy doing a lot of stuff. And so that leads me into what the advice I want to give.
Mm-hmm.
Stay true to who you are and be independent. You can work for a brand, you can work for a company, but still be true to who you are. You know, don't lose your brand. You know, if you haven't seen if you haven't participated in my class, the eCornell personal branding class, go to eCornell, go to my personal branding course. It's free of charge. They're not selling you anything. I did it because I want people to understand that whether you're in the hotel business or whether you're in the parking lot business, your brand is what's going to keep you employed and what's going to keep you successful. So I've had many changes in my career. I'm pivoting again. I'm going to pivot again, and I'm going to pivot again. I'm going to be in the coffin. I may get out of it and go into a crematorium. I don't know, but I'm always going to change.
That's right. And I love what you're saying there, Anthony, about being true to your own personal brand. And that's something that I think I've gone through in my life. You can retain your personal brand while working for other people, while you gain those skills, while you gain that confidence, while you figure out ultimately who you want to be and what you want to become. And that's kind of what led me down the journey to create the No Vacancy news channel and all that we're doing over here, because I finally wanted to just express who I am as an individual without anything coming in the way of that particular thing. And talking about your speaking gigs and stuff like that, both of us next week are going to be at RLH Corporation's event at the Mirage in Las Vegas. So if you're going to be at a Red Lions event next week, we look forward to seeing you. I'll be hosting the general session on Tuesday morning from 9 to 11, coming out there, saying some things, and hosting a couple of panels. And Anthony, what will you be doing over at RLH?
I will be doing juggling and tap dancing and little striptease and burlesque at the Red Lions Hotel convention. Actually, we'll be talking about personal branding. We'll be talking about the hotel business. We're going to do Q&A. We're going to do a little bit of keynote. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you. And I wish somebody would just play this with no sound on so they can see all my faces and me looking around trying to figure out, like, why I didn't set this up right. But anyway.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Vegas, my friend.
Yeah.
As I said on the podcast before, the greatest thing that's come out of this podcast is that I became your friend, and I appreciate it. And I realize that your ability to cook for your family is one of the true things that you're passionate about, and that means a lot because I know how busy you are. So I asked him over Thanksgiving holiday. I called him up. I go, "How's Thanksgiving coming? How did Thanksgiving go? How did it go? How did the 2 turkeys go?"
I think the 2 turkeys went well. And for those of you who haven't been following the turkey saga here in the Haussman household, I got one to put on my Traeger smoker because that was really important to me and my friends. But my wife didn't have the confidence that she would like a smoked turkey, so we had to do a separate turkey.
Which was better?
Classic way. I do not want to say. I cooked them both, so I can say that they appealed to different target audiences.
So one turkey would cost you $130, and one turkey cost you $22. Which was the better turkey?
Okay, one cost $130, one cost $11. The $10. The $10.88 turkey came out pretty damn good, but so did the $130 turkey. I highly recommend going with the Nature's Promise from Stop and Shop turkey over overspending. Although I did feel really good about myself because I did help a family farm in the Midwest, and I do think turkey had a pretty good life. So I
will tell you this: that you almost influenced me. I almost bought a $100 turkey because I wanted to be like Glenn, and thank God I did it because my wife was eating that.
Well, yesterday I made a great jambalaya, which we had a lot of fun eating.
Jambalaya? How do you make jambalaya?
Well, you got to create you got to start with the base with onions and garlic and celery and all that good stuff, and then after that you throw in some of the other ingredients, and then you put in a couple of boxes of chicken stock and start to get it down. And when it starts all coming together, you throw in your chicken, you throw in your sausage. You throw in your shrimp, let it sit for another 10, 15 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. You got it, but don't forget to rub in the Creole seasoning on all of your meats before putting it in. Man, it's a lot of fun. I love doing that kind of stuff.
You're sexy when you talk food. So we're gonna end this with not that it's your show, so I'm just saying.
No, go ahead.
Tell something we don't know. We just learned something, so that's something we don't know.
Yep.
So I have a shelf here. I have a very small shelf. I don't like putting like a lot of stuff up. I don't like putting awards and stuff up. I put everything in a box, all my military stuff. Anything I've ever won or anything I've ever done goes in a box. However, I do have a little shelf that I take, some things that people give me and I like showing them because I like looking at it when I'm at my desk. So I'm going to show you something that I just received. I posted about it, but you may not know about it. You know about it. But
I heard all about it. This is awesome.
This is a Plaza doorknob.
Right.
Given to me from my friend Bob at my gym that I go to. And he had no idea I worked at the Plaza. He just knows I'm in the hotel business. And his son had done some construction in the Plaza and was able to get 2 doorknobs. He gave me one. And then what's so funny is when I posted about it, thanking him, and I told him that I worked at the Plaza and it meant so much to me, he had no idea I worked at the Plaza. So
Right.
he was like, I had no idea it meant that much to you.
Wow.
So this is one of my real souvenirs that I will cherish forever. So thanks, Bob. And this PP means Plaza Hotel.
That's pretty cool. I got myself a big bookcase to put all of my awards on, and it is currently empty. So if anyone wants to give me an award, I would love to have something. No, I don't really care about awards. I just love sharing great news and information with all of you out there. And I want to thank you all for watching this show today.
Look what book I'm reading. I'm such a nerd.
Nice. Yeah, I'm such a hotel geek. I like 3 things in life. I love the hotel business. I love cooking, and I'm always counting down to the next fish show. So I went to on Sunday night at Nassau Coliseum. First show in 16 years. Had a great time. We'll save that for another show. But right now, I'd love to encourage you all to follow us on Facebook. Someone's nerding out over there.
These are the books I'm reading or have read.
Both.
Look at that. Great book.
Yep.
The Intelligent Investor and The Power of Moments.
Yeah.
And what you don't see is the pineapple book. I have that because I'm currently reading it.
Yep. Hey, and Rupesh Patel is saying hello to us right now. And of course, Anthony and I both appeared on Roop's show. Roop, I got to put you in touch with my buddy Dave Magnano over there. I promised him I would do that, so I'll do that after the show is over. But
let me tell you something. Before you go.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, hey, are you using LinkedIn? I found LinkedIn to be really helpful in my business. Right. And they said, yeah, I'm starting to use it. And, you and Glenn are doing it great, and this guy, Rupesh, is doing it great. He has no idea who this guy is, but because he does such a great job on LinkedIn, and he's become a real mentor and friend of mine in helping me, and I'm actually going to be on his LinkedIn Live, hopefully this week or next week. And awesome. Hopefully I didn't piss him off by going on yours as well. But he has been such a mentor. And if you really want to follow somebody, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if you want to follow somebody and really understand the hotel business from a granular level all the way up to an investment level, he will help you with that. He really, really, really drills down and really speaks to the hospitality culture. And he's teaching me more and more about LinkedIn. But I'm pissed off at both of you guys because you've been approved for LinkedIn Live and I haven't. I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know how I managed to finally get it, but I got it. And I'm really glad that each and every one of you could join us today at our first foray into doing LinkedIn Live. Be sure you
next time we do from your house.
Yes. Let's do it. I'm thinking the next time we get together and we're recording the regular podcast, maybe we could do something like this as well I'll come to
your house. Next time we do the podcast, I'll come to your house.
Yeah, cool. I don't know if you want to come here. You might not like the cats. I know that they'll love you, which you won't.
I'll take a lot of clarity.
Yeah. All right. All right. I love that. Be sure you download the No Vacancy podcast on iTunes, on Google Play. Make sure you download the Checking In podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play. Follow both of the pages, the No Vacancy page, the Checking In page here on LinkedIn. Like us on Facebook, all of that kind of good stuff. We love sharing the love. We love sharing all of our news and insight. And boy, did I have fun responding to what you guys are saying there right online. I think this is going to be the start of something fun, something new. Anthony, how about one more plug for your show at 3 o'clock?
I actually want to plug someone that's helping me with my social media. You'll see videos that I've been posting, whether it be what's in my bag or how to inspect the bed. And you'll see more and more and more and more content now because my social media has been so behind for so long because I didn't care. I was just too busy and didn't care about it. But now I care about it. So Tamara Thompson, and I'm trying to get the name of her company correctly, at SeriousTakeProductions.com.
Right.
SeriousTakeProductions.com. She has been unbelievable. I mean, we literally right now we're just bartering. And because I did something for her, she's doing some stuff for me. Eventually, I'm going to hire her company, Serious Take Productions. They're serious. They know what they're doing. And anything that you see that's going on in my social media world that's good is them. Anything that's going on that's bad, like this, is not them. I'm just No, but Tamara, shout out to you. You and your team at Serious Take Productions are absolutely amazing. I'm a person that I don't trust anyone. So we did this barter thing. She reached out to me. She wanted me to go do a Q&A for her. I said, no. Eventually I said, all right, maybe I'll do it because I think I can learn from her. and we did some content, and all of a sudden I'm upstate in Roxbury, New York, and I started seeing videos plastered all over my social media, and she didn't even ask me. She just did them. And she just edited it and did it well, and it was perfect and beautiful. And that's what I like. I like people who are A+ talent that just get shit done. And she took the video content and she did a great job with it, and she made my life easier. I like dealing with high performers. So if you need social media consulting, please go to her website and follow her. She's amazing.
Excellent. And I think that's a great place to leave it today. Be sure you watch Anthony on Facebook on his fan page at 3 p.m. today. And we'll be back.
3 o'clock today.
Yep. And I'm going to be back on Thursday at noon for another experiment with this LinkedIn live kind of stuff with Rick Garlick of Magid. He used to work with JD Power, so I got to know him over there. He's been over at this organization for the last year or so. And we're going to be talking about some of the emerging trends that we see out there. I kind of want to get out there and crowdsource as to what you think the upcoming trends are going to be. I'm looking forward to that conversation. I've had a great time with this conversation. Anthony, good luck today, and I want to thank you all for watching. We'll be back next time with another edition of No Vacancy Live on LinkedIn. See you next time, everybody.
Peace.